I don't know if he reaching in his pants to support his nicotine addiction, his weed addiction, or if he finna pull some shit out on us.
Don't make me wait, no, don't you? Just say you will come through and
Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video. So today, as you can tell by the title, we're gonna be doing a story time. Without further ado, let's do. So, y'all, today's story time is gonna be about the time when I had went to bowling and shit got crazy. This was probably back in I think January. So I had just started talking to this little dude or whatever, and we, was kicking it. And I had my best friend, well, at the time, my best friend, and then these people I had met from my previous job. So let's give them all names. So my little yaya, we gonna call him, even for this, we're not gonna say names actually. So basically, me and old dude I was talking to, we was out, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, my friend just hit me up about doing some, bowling. And I was like, do you want to come? Because I think I'm gonna invite my best friend. So he was like, okay, sure, I'll come. And I was like, okay, cool. So at the time, he didn't have a car. So I was like, well, let me just, go ahead and pick everybody up. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna come pick you up at, I think it was maybe around 7 or 8. So I go pick him, well, I pick up my best friend first, and then I go pick him up, and we chilling, we ready to get into it. So we get there, and my old coworker who had invited us invited her, well, not invited, but I didn't know she was going to invite her brother too, which I guess, okay, y'all could say I probably should have known that she was going to invite her brother, but I honestly didn't. And if me and her brother used to talk or whatever, so, but if I'm being honest, he didn't want to mess with me for whatever reason. He kind of just out of nowhere, pretty much ghosted me. So I was like, damn, I didn't know her brother was gonna be here. But mind you, me and her brother had talked, I think, in October. So it was kind of a pretty big gap. So I already felt the stares when I had brought my little yaya that I was talking to. So we get in there, and I'm like, you know what? She got her brother and his friends, and it's her. Let's just sit on a different side so it won't be no issues. So, I'm being cordial. I'm talking. I did, do a little hey, blah, 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 this is, and, introduced everybody. So we get our bowling balls. We having fun. She pouring it up at the, y'all don't do this, but pouring it up at the bowling alley. And, we having fun. Ain't nothing too serious going on. And all I gotta say is that fun turned into shit real quick. Literally real quick. So all I remember was, especially since this was a year ago, is that I went up to go grab, the sizes for the bowling ball. And her brother had just so happened to be right next to me. So he was acting real funny, he had said hey or whatever, and I was being cordial and said hey, but he was just acting real weird. I mean, I guess as you would think if you brought somebody, but at the same time he didn't want me, so what's the issue? And I didn't know you was gonna be here. So I was talking to my coworker, and I was like, girl, I did not know your brother was going to be here. And then she was like, well, you should have figured that he was going to be here because, blah, blah, blah. She ain't saying it no rude way, but you kind of should have figured. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But she was like, don't let no day or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just keep going about my day. So then as we bowling and I'm talking to my little dude, one of his little short ass friends comes over, and it's like, So we bringing other niggas to the thing where, you know, my nigga here, you bring other niggas to the thing, you know, like trying to start something. So I look at him, I look at my best friend, and I look to my little dude. I'm like, excuse me? And then he was like, you bringing other people around my and I'm thinking, boy, is you gay? Because you saying, not to say anything wrong with being gay, but you're so worried about your homeboy and who I'm bringing. Your homeboy stopped talking to me. So he was like, no, because that's disrespectful. That's real disrespectful. So I'm thinking to myself, you must be off too much drink and too much, because why are you like coming at me? Like, I don't even know you. I've been with you one time. And like, what? So I proceeded to say, ask your homeboy, why are you all up on me? So he like, no, that's some crazy shit. You know, you shouldn't even be bringing nobody up here. And I told him, I'm like, I have the right to bring whoever I want up here, period. Like, you can't dictate who I'm bringing, especially when I didn't know he was coming. So he was like, nah, bruh, because it's gonna be a problem, blah, blah, blah. All I know is from there it started to escalate like real quick. And then old dude that I used to talk to back there giggling. And mind you, this dude is like a big dude, like tall, big, built, all that. So I'm thinking, why are you having your short to me? Out of all people, step to a female. I'm like, what? So then my little dude was like, hey, yo, like, calm down. So I'm like, bruh, like, why is he trying to get like active, especially with a female? And he was like, listen, I would just say leave it alone, because you know, I don't got mine to, you know, help me. Okay, editing tearing here. I just want to clear something up real quick. The dude who I was talking to at the time was basically saying, like, don't start nothing because I don't have my friends here, because he was originally from like a different state or whatever, and he had just moved out to Cleveland. So he was saying, like, you know, don't be getting into nothing that I can't help you with, because at this point it's a whole lot of dudes here, and it's me, my best friend, and him that's on like my side, you know what I'm saying? So if something did happen, then it wouldn't be no backup. So just leave it alone. So I'm like, well, okay. So after that, it had kind of just left like a sour taste in all of our mouths. And I was talking to my best friend, and I'm like, girl, like, what was that? And she's like, girl, I don't know. But it was in our best interest, I feel like, to just leave, and I would go drop them off anyway. It was already getting late by that point when all that stuff started. So I was just like, you know what? I'm about to go drop everybody off and call it a day. So we start walking out the door. Then this short little leprechaun want to start stepping again as we're walking out the door. So I'm like, okay, bro, like, what is wrong with you? So I'm starting to get heated, because I'm like, what are you antagonizing me for? You're acting like I was the one who messed you up or something. So when he started coming at me, I did say some disrespectful things. I was like, why don't you go on your homeboys, since you want to be all up on my business? And then from there, he really started to get escalated. So then he starts reaching his pants. So I was like, okay, I don't know if he reaching in his pants to support his nicotine addiction, his weed addiction, or if he finna pull some shit out on us. Because you never know with some people. Like, they will really get that mad that they will pull some shit out. So I'm like, you know what, let's go. So we get in the car, and I was like, did I just like see what I saw? And he was like, yeah, I think dude was like about to pull up out. So I was like, and it's trying to end somebody's life or harm somebody over just because they didn't know that the brother was coming. Like, where does that make sense? And at the end of the day, stay in your place. You're just the homeboy. If the dude I was talking to really had an issue with it, he would have just told me flat out like that. But no, they was being very goofy, very immature. So we in the car now, and mind you, the car, it has like tinted windows, so you really can't see who's looking at you, but you can see who's looking at them. So they coming out, all of them, the whole gang coming out. And oh, mind you, in the story, actually, let's backtrack. The only reason that the homeboy, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, had brought up the fact that I had brought another dude was because the coworker got so drunk and was like, Taryn, that's why other here to like embarrass my brother or some shit. Like, it was like something around those lines. So I want to include that there because, child, it was a mess. Like, it literally was a mess. So fast forward again, we're in the car and the car is tinted windows. So we're looking and we see the whole gang of them come out and they all just like staring. Like, they walking real slow, but then they like real slow. Okay? And we were like, what the fuck are they looking for? And then dude is like getting closer to the cars and really looking. So I'm like, well, I'm not about to pull off and then they follow wherever we going, because that could put all of us in danger. Even though I thought we was all cool at one point because we was pulling up, you know, to kick it together. And they had came to my little birthday thing, so I was confused. So I wait for them to get in the car. So it takes them a minute to start the car up too. Then finally they end up pulling off. But it's like a real slow pull off, and the dude who we think might have pulled a little on us was just staring at our car. And I was like, what in the fuck? What? What? So after that, I had just dropped everybody off and we was just talking. We was like, child, I don't know what's going on with that, but we're just gonna cut the whole hanging out with them. And one thing about that group of people that I did used to hang out with, they used to be in like some dangerous areas and wanting to party and kick it. Like, even my coworker, her like car had got shot up at this one thing, and I'm just thinking like, I'm not ready to risk my life. I have goals and I want to keep living, you know what I'm saying? And who is trying to endanger themselves over talking to somebody and bringing them somewhere? Like, that doesn't make sense. Regardless, yes, I probably was wrong for bringing my little yeah at the time when he could have just stayed and I could have went. But it's like, at the same time, I don't feel bad because you think I'm just supposed to be out here miserable because you stopped talking to me? No, you're not even all that. But anyways, y'all, that is the end of anyways, y'all, that is the end of this story time. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.